Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into 1984. Not just a story, but the actual mechanics. How does this system of total control that Orwell built, how does it work? We're using your sources, the text itself, and some background on Orwell.
Yeah, and it hits you immediately, doesn't it, that world? You open the book, it's a bright, cold day, clock striking 13. It's instantly wrong.
Instantly unsettling.
Yeah.
And Winston struggling up the stairs in Victory Mansions because the power's out for an economy drive.
Right, preparing for hate week. So decay and control, right from page 1. The smell of boiled cabbage. It's visceral.
Exactly. But it's more than just the grim setting. We want to dig into the concepts. Orwell, well, Arthur Blair really, saw as the tools for killing individuality. Newspeak, Doublethink, all of it.
And understanding Blair helps understand the book. You know, his background. Born in India in 1903, saw British imperialism up close. He went to Eton, sure, but then joined the Indian Imperial Police in 1922.
Which he ended up hating.
Yeah.
You can see the roots of his anti-authoritarianism there.
Definitely. He resigned to write, took the name George Orwell, and he didn't just write from an armchair. For Down and Out in Paris and London, or The Road to Wigan Pier.
He lived it, right. Went tramping, saw poverty firsthand.
He did. He wanted that authenticity. But the real crucible for 1984's ideas, that was Spain.
The Spanish Civil War.
Yeah.
1936. He fought for the Republicans.
Yes, and nearly got killed, not by the fascists, but by the communists during the purges in Barcelona. That experience, escaping that, made him vehemently anti-Stalinist. It showed him totalitarianism from the inside.
That personal betrayal seems key. And he saw state manipulation again later, didn't he? During the war.
His time at the BBC Eastern Service, 1941, broadcasting to India, he felt he was just churning out propaganda.
He described it pretty harshly, like feeling like an orange that's been trodden on by a very dirty boot.
Yeah. So it's no surprise he builds Oceania on constant surveillance and, well, contradiction.
Let's talk about that surveillance. Winston's reality in Victory Mansions. The posters are everywhere.
Big Brother is watching you. Unavoidable. And then the telescreen. That oblong metal plaque like a dulled mirror.
And the crucial bit, you can dim it, but you can't switch it off. Ever.
Never completely. And you have the helicopters, the police patrol peeking in windows, which is creepy enough.
But that's almost background noise compared to the real threat.
The thought police, that's the one that matters. The internalized fear.
So the telescreen handles the physical watching. How does the party structure the ideas, the government itself, to maintain control?
Through those ministries, the 4 ministries, with their Newspeak names, it's ingenious in a horrible way. You've got Ministry, the Ministry of Truth.
Which deals with
news, entertainment, arts. But its real business is lies. Constant, systematic fabrication.
So right there in the name, Ministry of Truth equals Ministry of Lies. Minitrue. That blatant contradiction, is that the point?
That's absolutely central. Look at the others. Mini-PACs, Ministry of Peace. Its job, perpetual war.
Of course.
Mini-Plenty, Ministry of Plenty, oversees the economy, which means rations, shortages, basically starvation.
Engineered scarcity.
Exactly. And then there's Miniluv, the Ministry of Love.
Law and order. And the sources say it's the really frightening one. No windows.
Yeah, that's where the enforcement happens. Torture, interrogation. So the whole government structure is built on these massive inversions.
Which gets boiled down to those 3 slogans on Minitrue's building. War is peace.
Freedom is slavery.
Ignorance is strength. How do people, smart people even, like Winston, accept that? How does the party make that cognitive dissonance stick?
Well, one key tool is language itself. Newspeak.
Right. Syme, Winston's colleague, explains it, doesn't he? He's working on the new dictionary.
Yes, Syme is quite enthusiastic about it, chillingly so. He says the whole aim is to narrow the range of thought, make thought crime literally impossible. Because eventually there just won't be any words left to express rebellious or unorthodox ideas. The vocabulary gets smaller and smaller every year.
So you can't even form the thought.
That's the goal. As Syme puts it, orthodoxy is unconsciousness. You just won't be capable of thinking the wrong thing.
Wow. Okay, that's the long-term plan for the language. But what about right now? How do they manage the thoughts people currently have? How do they force that acceptance of contradictions now?
That's the job of Doublethink, the real mind-bender, as you said.
Defined in the sources as holding 2 contradictory beliefs at the same time.
Exactly. To hold simultaneously 2 opinions which canceled out, knowing them to be contradictory and believing in both of them.
Knowing they're contradictory, but believing both anyway, how is that even possible?
It requires active effort. You have to consciously induce unconsciousness. Forget inconvenient facts, then forget that you forgot them. It's an ongoing mental discipline.
And they teach this.
Oh, yeah. It starts young. The sources mention Crime Stop, training kids in protective stupidity.
Protective stupidity.
The ability to just stop short right at the edge of a dangerous thought. Before you even realize it's dangerous, just blank out. Avoid critical thinking instinctively.
Good grief. So you've got language control shaping the future, doublethink managing the present, Crime Stop as an instinct. What about letting off steam? All that suppressed stuff.
Well, that's where the 2 minutes hate comes in. That daily ritual.
Against Emmanuel Goldstein, the enemy of the people.
Right. It's this shared public outpouring of rage. But the sources say the emotion is abstract, undirected. It can be switched. Today, Goldstein. Tomorrow, Oceania.
It's just raw emotion channeled safely away from Big Brother.
Exactly. It dissipates any real dissent before it can form. And even Winston gets caught up in it.
Yeah, the book shows him fighting it, feeling a flicker of sympathy for Goldstein, this lone heretic.
But then the collective frenzy just sweeps him away. He finds himself screaming with the rest, loving Big Brother. It's terrifyingly effective.
But the most perfect form of control, the sources suggest, isn't the hate. It's the quiet work Winston does.
In the records department at Minitrue, his job is literally rewriting the past.
Erasing people, inventing heroes like Comrade Ogilvy.
Constantly adjusting history books, newspapers, everything, so the party's version of events is the only one that exists. And it's not just mechanical. The sources say it needs imagination.
You have to make the lie plausible, better than the original truth sometimes.
And this is where Winston has that critical moment. He finds actual proof.
The photograph.
Mm-hmm.
Jones, Aronson, and Rutherford. The original revolutionaries executed after confessing.
And the photo proves their confessions were lies. They were somewhere else entirely on the day they supposedly committed treason.
He holds this fragment of the abolished past, like a fossil bone. Proof.
Undeniable proof.
Yeah.
But what can he do with it? Nothing. It's just a dangerous piece of paper. He has to destroy it. It shows the power of that slogan. Who controls the past controls the future. Yeah. Who controls the present controls the past.
And we see that control in action dramatically during Hate Week.
Oh, yeah. The big switch. The speaker is mid-sentence railing against Eurasia.
Yeah, and then suddenly a messenger hands him a note and he just pivots without missing a beat.
Announces Oceania is, and always has been, at war with Eastasia. Eurasia is now the ally.
In the crowd. They just accept it.
Instantly. The banners against Eurasia are torn down. Everyone immediately understands the new reality. And back at Minitrue,
it's chaos, right? They have to change everything.
Everything. Winston and the others work 18-hour days, lightning speed, falsifying every record imaginable to match the new truth. It's a perfect demonstration of the system's power over reality.
But why? Why this endless war, this constant scarcity and manipulation? Winston eventually finds an explanation, doesn't he? In Goldstein's book.
He does. The book, or what he reads of it, explains the theory. Modern war isn't about conquest, not really. It's economic.
How so?
Its main purpose is to use up the products of the machine without raising the general standard of living, to keep the hierarchical structure in place, consume resources, keep people poor and dependent.
So the war is fake, an imposture?
In a way, yes, but it's not pointless. The book argues it's fundamentally waged by each ruling group against its own subjects. It maintains the power structure.
Which makes sense of the slogan. War is peace. The state of war maintains the internal peace, the party's dominance.
Precisely.
So if the party controls the minds of its members so thoroughly, where does Winston look for any hope of change? Any real resistance?
Well, his initial thought, his desperate hope, is the proles.
The 85% of the population.
Yeah.
Largely ignored by the party. No telescreens in their homes.
Right. He writes in his diary, if there is hope, it lies in the proles. He sees their humanity, their vitality, as something the party hasn't crushed.
But then the sources show why that hope might be misplaced. They're just not politically aware, are they?
Not really. Their lives are focused on immediate things. Petty, specific grievances, the book calls them. Fights over saucepans. The lottery.
Yeah, Winston tries talking to that old man in the pub, hoping for some real memory of the past before the revolution.
And what does he get? Complaints about the beer, the lack of pipe mugs, talk about top hats, nothing politically useful, just disconnected fragments of daily life.
So the proles aren't going to rise up, which pushes Winston towards a different kind of rebellion.
A personal one. His affair with Julia. That becomes his act of defiance.
The sexual act successfully performed was rebellion. That's a powerful line.
It is. It's about reclaiming a private life instinct, pleasure things the party wants to control or extinguish. Julia's philosophy is different too, more pragmatic.
If you kept the small rules, you could break the big ones.
Yeah, she's less interested in grand ideology, more in carving out personal freedom within the system.
And their sanctuary becomes that room above Mr. Charrington's junk shop.
The place they value specifically because it has no telescreen, or so they think.
Along with the glass paperweight he bought there, that little piece of the past, it's all about finding some small space outside the party's control.
A fragile illusion. Because, of course, it's a trap.
Set by O'Brien. The inter-party member Winston felt this strange connection with.
O'Brien orchestrates the whole thing. He approaches them, hints at the Brotherhood, the rebellion. He tests them.
Asks those horrifying questions. Are you prepared to cheat, to murder, to throw acid in a child's face?
And they say yes to everything, believing it's for the cause. Then O'Brien reveals he knows the missing lines to the St. Clement's rhyme.
Confirming he's been watching, knows everything, the trap springs.
And they end up in the Ministry of Love, Mini Louvre.
Where O'Brien isn't the rebel leader, but the interrogator. He explains the party's real goal. It's not just about crushing opposition.
No, it's not like the Inquisition or the Nazis, O'Brien says. They didn't make their victims recant sincerely. The party wants true conversion. We capture his inner mind, we reshape him.
They want you to love Big Brother.
Or genuinely.
Reintegration. Make the heretic one of them heart and soul before they eliminate him.
And the torture is methodical, breaking Winston down physically, mentally, forcing him to accept 2 + 2 = 5.
But the final step, the one that guarantees the conversion, is Room 101.
The worst thing in the world, which varies for everyone. For Winston,
It's rats. His deepest phobia, faced with that unbearable terror, he breaks. Utterly. He screams the final betrayal.
do it to Julia! Do it to Julia! Not me, Julia!
Sacrificing the one person he loved, the last shred of his independent self.
And after that, he's released. Sort of. He's cured. Given a pointless job.
A sinecure.
Mm.
He's often at the Chestnut Tree Cafe. He's gained weight, seems almost content in his emptiness.
He even meets Julia again, by chance.
And it's chillingly devoid of emotion. They both admit they betrayed each other. She says, all you care about is yourself, and he agrees. Physical pain, they realize, overrides everything else.
Yeah.
Loyalty, love, gone.
They're sanitized, and the last image we have of him is tracing 2 + 2 = 5 in the dust on a table. He accepts it. He loves Big Brother.
And that really synthesizes what we've explored in this deep dive. The terror isn't just physical chains, it's the mental ones. Newspeak making future dissent unthinkable. Doublethink managing present reality. The constant rewriting of the past. It's total psychic control.
Winston's journey is complete. From Thoughtcrime IS, scribbled desperately in his diary, to genuinely accepting the party's reality. Utter submission. But there's that one little detail, isn't there? The sources linger on it. While Winston sits there, broken, listening to the telescreen news and the official party songs.
There's still the pro-woman singing. That simple, driveling song he heard earlier. It was only an opaless fancy.
Yeah. And the text notes that somehow that tune had outlived the hate song. The party controls the official music, the language, the history. They try to control instinct.
So here's something for you to think about. If the party's ultimate goal is to control every single thought, every impulse, what does it mean that they can't quite seem to stamp out this simple, unconscious, biological act of singing by the common people? Does that little, maybe meaningless, opaless fancy hint at something human the machine can't fully reach?